It's written in stone in the pyramids. We have the history. It's written in art pieces in museums all over Europe that we have to claim, by the way. That we have to claim. We have to claim back all that value. Because that's value. Those are things that are going to back the Afro. That's the wealth that's going to back the Afro currency. We have to claim it back very quickly. We should think about rolling out new money as soon as possible, so that as we go through fixing that value. By the year 2040, we have a currency that once the ceremonial leaders become real leaders, once we give them the power in 63 or earlier, depending on our progress, we have already built a strong currency that works. We are all tired of traveling from Kenya to Kampala to Dar es Salaam, and you have to deal with 3 different valueless, useless currencies. Why can't we have one currency for Africa? You're in Lagos, you're using a different currency. You just fly 45 minutes to Accra, a different currency. That's all nonsense. That's all the white man's way to divide us, to make business hard to do. We can't play by this game. It's very obvious. We should get a new currency today, tomorrow. Why wait any further? There's definitely no need for us to wait any further. The next important thing after fixing the education is you have to fix the money. Africa will never be anything with the same money that we have today. We will never be able to trade fairly if we still accept the fiat money. We need our true money, valuable money, and if you're going to trade with us, we need to see some real value. Not papers. We need to stop accepting papers, and now they're easily running into the digital world where they will confuse you even more. No, we are not rushing. We are going to build our Africa with our money. And we will expect value for the money. We will not expect papers or some digital foolery. No. Value. Because our money is backed by real value. Fix the money. Once we've fixed the money, then it will be easier for us to separate the borders. You see, the economy is hard to build up if you're using different monies, because you don't know how to deal with that. Because now people are used to their customs and all that has to collapse. If you're going to unite a country, the customs have to first die. And so that's the sacrifice. And that's why, the first lesson we sell in the Kenrald experience is subsistence. Once people are self-reliant, then we can choose to say, for these 5 years, we are first killing all customs so that we can unify. And people won't be dependent on government, because people will be self-reliant. They can produce their food. So we can easily sweep away the colonial economy and build our new economy. Most of the things that are stopping Africans from amalgamating, from unifying, for example, the East African community from where I come from, is, they just don't know how to deal with things like custom, and they're trying to fidget and figure out. These things have to all go. And Corona is a very beautiful thing, because the Corona quarantine period, the lockdown, has helped you to see that, the African spirit, the subsistence is still there. Because, the politicians have eaten all the money, but the Africans have not starved. Because some little smartness in the African head told them, no, plant your own food. Much as you're entering this modern world, make sure you have your supply of food. And that has helped us. And we should use such as precedents to know that we can decide by tomorrow there are no more tariffs. For the next year, we're going to build a new tariff system, but we're going to unite. So we need to drop the old economy and fix the money. After fixing the money, we need to remove the borders. These borders are just divisive things. The most divisive thing is a border. where they have Kenya selling you things and making it seem like it's the US selling them to you. And they have Uganda selling Kenya things and making it seem like it's the US. Because they are making money off that tariff. Every time a good moves from Kenya to Uganda and back, those taxes that you think are Kenyan or Ugandan taxes, you're actually paying them to the colonial masters. Those taxes go to the state, and you know who runs the state. You people in power, you know who runs the state. It's not you. You beg for money. You actually buy your money. The planes are flying, buying money from Europe, your own money. You don't even print your own money. Or when you print it, you need permission. Now, how do you trust money where they say it's your money, but you need permission to print it? While they're out there printing and printing money. I mean, look at the US debt, look at the cash released, and look at the domestic debt. It just doesn't add up. They said they'll release this amount, but when you look at the debt and you look at what they've released and you look at the cash in circulation, definitely there's a lie somewhere. There's a lot of fake money, fake legalized money. But for you, you're dealing on rules to trade, and you accept that nonsense and you think you'll ever have fair trade. Wake up. You're going to need numbers. So if you keep dividing yourselves, much as even if you're the most innovative people, you're going to realize the power of a market. We've realized that in East Africa. That's why the East African market is now one market. The African market is now one market. Because we knew that for one country to develop, we need the whole Africa to develop. That's what has brought us the question of the African Union anyway. So the division is not good for anyone. And most especially, you can't compete on the global market with that division. That's why even Europe came together with the EU. That's why the United States is the United States. Because you can't trade alone. It's hard to trade alone. You can't trade alone. It's very hard. We need to very quickly adapt Swahili as our language of the future. And we need to immediately start teaching the children Swahili. The Chinese are coming to our institutions of higher learning, and they are teaching us Confucius, teaching us Mandarin, Confucian, literally. And we don't have Swahili. We need to have Swahili in every single school, and it needs to be mandatory, and we need to encourage it even on the streets, because our new language of the future is Swahili. So we should have a united Africa that can run even without a leader. The original African tribes didn't have kings, but they were strong and supreme. Without kings, nothing. Everyone was a king. So African democracy can exist on just values. God runs the world, no king. And that's why socialism has failed to work, because socialism has been given kings, earthly kings, human kings. That's how the communism failed and killed many people, because they were earthly kings. Africa had something bigger than socialism, subsistence for thousands and thousands of years, and we didn't kill ourselves over things and imprison ourselves in camps, because God was king. And to serve, you are serving God, not yourself, not another human being. And so you are subsistent, you are self-reliant, so that you're less of a problem for God and so for the other people. So every man cultivated the land. And every time you cut down a tree, you replaced it. And every time you hunted an animal, you also helped. You didn't hunt the babies, you hunted the mature ones. It was like picking ripe fruit. No one hunted a young deer. We hunted the old mature buffalo. These are the norms of Africa. These are the morals. Picking the ripe fruit, not the raw one. These are the values we instill in the new Africa.